Welcome everyone.
Hello, hello.
I'm Jimmy the Brush, and we're accompanied by Princess here today. And we had the joy of painting this Legends of Signum model for the Kickstarter. As you can see, it's a beautiful wolfen for the Alliance of the Unicorn.
Yay!
Your faction, really, isn't it? You're thinking of.
I'm thinking of
grabbing these.
Yeah, I love that Alliance of Unicorn, and I think the miniatures there are absolutely wonderful. So I'm looking forward to painting some of these.
I'm more Akari Spider Elves, the corruption. That's me sorted, I think.
You're always corrupted.
Yes, the corruption. As you can see, the model's got a lot of really nice, deep detail, and you can see me swanning around with my brush here, putting the edging on this sort of really old bronzy copper I was doing. How do you think about this? What do you think of this model? Do you think this is one you'd have liked to have yoinked off me? You wanted to go with different colours, didn't you? You wanted to go with the oranges.
I wanted to go with more orangey, more autumn colours.
There we go. That's the original model before we primed it. You can, if you do pause it and go back, you'll see how deep the depth of the detail is. They are beautiful resin miniatures that this company does, and they're really nice to assemble. I mean, I'm not normally someone who goes for resin models, but I've enjoyed assembling these. I assembled 20 of them in one night. It was a heavy session, and they were very simple. A lot of them only came with like 3 or 4 pieces, and they were easy to clean. They weren't too brittle. They were quite strong, and sort of semi-flexible resin, so it was good. It wasn't bouncy, but it was very functional, very good. This is one of the top resins that I've worked with. So
why did you go with the colours that you've picked?
Why did I go with blue? I just had an image for it. I just thought it was nice to do a sort of snowy theme, dark royal blue boys, and just decided to go with it. I mean, he looks like someone who's been through battle, been through it. He looks like someone that's suffered. And the thing is, when you see that royal blue there, it's a bit like that could have been part of a family crest, or an old house that was once nobility and are now living in the woods, trying to rebuild their shattered lives.
And now fighting the corrupted and cursed forest.
He's probably gone. It could be that his home fell to the corruption, and now he's making a living in the woods, surviving and trying to fight back against the corruption. As you can see, it was a really nice model to work on. I mean, to do the sort of browns and greys for the skin. I started off going more brown, thinking we're going to go brown and pink skin, and then move towards the greys. Always move towards the grey. You can see there was quite a lot of nice detail on him.
The embellishments are absolutely beautiful.
It's very Art Nouveau, isn't it? You really like the sort of the things like the fairy dragon and the other Alliance, the Unicorn stretch goals on the Kickstarter. You got that goblin with the teapot on his head.
I absolutely adore those unicorn minions.
You like the tree on his feet as well. The sort of What's his name? Caveron, yeah, and Caveron. Yeah. I like I can't say it.
Ethereal.
Yes, the guy on the stag. That looks absolutely amazing. But I do like the sort of the corruption models, the slave of Hive and Linerain, and those sort of sneaky elves, very sort of reminiscent of the sort of dark elves that dwell underground and all that sort of thing.
I was always more into elves and goblins. So
you like your wood elves, don't you?
I like the wood elves.
The fairy creatures. So for you, it's
pretty things.
Pretty things. It's perfect. That's what we want. I like the evil chestnut. I think the thing with these, with Legends of Signum, is they do some very interesting sort of models that go alongside their Kickstarters.
Yes.
And I believe with their previous one, they had the plague doctors, and they had some very cool rat models that were like sort of pestilence Pope rats and things. It was
and the nice thing about those models is the fact that they are all different. You don't, you can build an army of, really varied characters. And I think that's nice, from a painter's point of view and from a gamer's point of view as well.
So you're not painting an army of nameless faces with this board game. Every character is unique, and what I mean by that is you can't have more than one of them, so you're always going to be working on something new, which is nice. For a painter's perspective, a lot of these models come on big bases, like 50mm bases. Some of them are on 32s, like the chaff. The chaff is on 32s, but even then the chaff are like heroes, and they're nice to look at, they're nice to paint. But this guy's on a 50mm base, so you don't have to necessarily paint 200 models. You'd be more painting, like 20, and then you're done. You've got your everything for your game, which is nice. It's a small. It's a game that's sort of done on a 2-foot-by-2 foot sort of skirmish board. But yeah, with this, I just sort of wanted to experiment on, what else can be done with the model. So I knew that the orange would have been perfect for you and going in with a sort of autumny scheme, but I was there thinking, what if we do purple on this guy? Because I know that the Kickstarter guys, the other team, the Spider Elves have been shown with purple, but what if the Alliance of the Unicorn were the guys with purple and blue, and the Spider Elves were...
And show him as a ragged hero who's been through a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the fact about the game that you can play PvE as well.
Yes, that's really good, especially like when we just had Corona. So people stuck at home, they don't necessarily need to go out to find someone to play the game. They can do PvE by themselves. It's 1 to 4 players. This game, so if you do have those nights on your own, it's not like, oh, I can't play this game, there's no one in my area with it. You can go nuts. You can really enjoy yourself with the PvE mode. And it's nice also that when you're building these decks, because it works on a card-based system where you can choose to go heavy on ranged attacks, you can choose to go heavy on melee or cavalry, you can go fast strike forces that charge in straight away and block the opponent taking their moves. You can go with heavy defensive buffers who will sort of trigger a lot of defensive reactions. They won't take much damage in melee, and they'll improve your shooting of your troops so that you can shoot down the enemy from afar. And then likewise on the other team could be an opponent who bunkers in a lot, gets loads of like terrain blocking terrain, funnily enough, and creates a good sort of like turtle sort of movement with that, so they slowly moving forward and putting more terrain down as they do and keeping control within their territory. So there's multiple play styles that people can bring to this. It's nice how magic is really powerful. I like magic being powerful in games. It goes straight through armor. Armor doesn't defend against magic at all,
which makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
Yes.
Why would you have armor against magic unless you have some sort of magical cloak?
Magical armor. Yeah, that'd be different.
What was the role about this billionaire guy, the banker?
The ogre banker. So essentially, he gets more of the game currency per turn and makes it more expensive for the opponent to build their buildings.
Very cheeky tactic.
I like my ogres, so in Signum games, we want more ogres, essentially. Well, I want more ogres. They've got great character. So, and there's the Duke as well, which is fantastic. Obviously the Duke's going to be my leader for my ogre-ish team.
Obviously.
Whereas you like your goblins as well, don't you?
I like my goblins and the
fairies.
The fairies.
That Lycoris on the additional Kickstarter looks amazing. Yeah.
And I like the zombies and undead sort of guys, where they can just
All the undead.
Yeah,
rising
when they
from the
just
dead
can
and coming
appear from everywhere and
Yeah.
anywhere, and multiply themselves numerous times.
Coming back to battle. I like the fact that they've got little coins for tokens.
Yes. Have you seen the pouch
Yes.
with the coins?
Yeah, I think that's really
it's
cool.
amazing, isn't it?
So yeah, this is me putting on the. I haven't really talked about the painting much in this, but if anyone does want to ask about that, they can always check out our Twitch and ask me whatever questions regarding painting. Painting's one of those things where I find the questions are very sort of suited to the individual issue that people are coming about. We started dark here and highlighted up, so we start with a black primer and then just highlighted and edged. And then you see me doing the basing here. I'm painting the grass, something people don't normally do, but I find it sort of gives you the correct colours for the environment you're choosing to set. And then you'll see me put the PVA glue on. You'll see me build up ground like you'd see normal ground. So you'd have your dirt and your rocks, which is what I started with, all the sand, that's all glued on with PVA. And then you'd see me put the grass on top of that, because the grass grows on top of the rocks. And then you'll see me put the snow on top of the grass and the bushes, because it would have fallen onto them. So we're creating as sort of realistic a world as we can, but at the same time we don't tend to put the snow over the models themselves. We sort of like the model to sort of have its own art style and look like it's freshly arrived on the scene, rather than been sat there for a day or two, you know. So yeah, this is what you're seeing here. This white stuff here, PVA glue, kept it in a pot, and it's just putting over everything. This is where all the dead grass will go.
Keeps the stuff in place.
Was there anything else you wanted to speak about with the model?
Yeah, I think it does suit him. You know, the way you painted him, all the
It was
darkness.
risky. It was a risk. It was a risk. I could have done with a few more of these to try and tie up some schemes, but we were on a tight schedule. But I do like the blue. I like the blue and the dark brown. I think it works. And I'll have to get more of them if I want to try other schemes.
Look at all the grass.
All the grass, and then we vacuum it off. So we don't use a static grass machine. We just use a vacuum, and then And the thing that's nice about that is it just leaves all the grass hairs in a random way. And there you go. That's the final piece there. You'll see a few little rotations, and I'll show you around it a little bit towards the end, so you get a good picture of it. They're very nice models. It's top quality resin, and the prices are really nice as well. So absolutely amazing. Do make sure you check out the Kickstarter, guys. It looks good. It looks fantastic.
It's
if you
amazing.
can get everything for quite a good price. So yeah, it's worth investing in. Okay, that's it from us.
See you soon, guys.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Boom boom.